Every day I see or I hear something that more or less kills me with delight.
In Sungai, Malaysia, on Tuesday, May 13, 1969, my grandfather saved my 1-year-old father's life in the largest racial riot in Malaysia's history, when the blood of hundreds was spilled at businesses, homes, and schools. Ready or Not, Here I Come is a fictional retelling of my grandfather and father's story, the tale of a father willing to do anything to protect his innocent son from the horrors around him, even if they have to play a game in the middle of the darkest riot in their nation's history. After Teacher Lynn told Ma that the reason why I can never sit still in my desk chair is because I am special, Ma wrote a new rule on the list taped to my bedroom door in bright red Chinese characters. No more hide and seek or running, not even on No Customers Tuesday. I think today is a Tuesday.
Alone in the classroom, I study her drawing. It is a sepak takraw ball, stems of a palm tree woven together. I touch it and close my eyes. I know what I have to do.
This is the purpose for my NaNoWriMo 2022. Writing out a purpose statement can really help you especially with motivation during the process. So my purpose is to prove to myself that I can do it, and to have a complete work done and ready for revisions, query letters, my thesis project, and MFA applications. This is for future units. Remember, you'll thank me later. So write something up like this for yourself, and you will thank yourself later. Oh no, I'm so sad. My favorite tree is bald. As I dive into the historical research portion of my novel prepping, I just wanted to share something really important that I learned. So my book is going to be a historical fiction, and it is set in a wartime period. Because of that, I had to learn this very important lesson, that while I do want to dive deep and learn and understand all the important things about the world and feel for my characters and just be respectful of that period and knowledgeable about it, I still need to take care of my personal emotional health and appropriately distance myself from the research that I'm researching about. So while yes, it is good for me to empathize for my characters and to bring out that the atrocities of war through the emotions of my writing, I still need to take care of myself and be like, okay, I have learned these things which are relevant to this specific circumstance that I'm writing in my novel, but I don't need to go too deep and learn about the details of the specific act which psychologically harms me as a person. So I think as writers, we really need to learn this thing called emotional distancing. It's really going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you engage with your characters while not damaging your own emotional health. I hope that helped. I was filming a big Marvin. Reading for editing. The copy editor and the author. And the boyfriend. Yes, boyfriend.
Right here.
Okay. I'm about to meet a professor who's an author in a journal, and I'll be going through some edits with her as lead editor of her scholarly article. Wish me luck! Good morning, my friends. Right here I'm showing you Mary Oliver's Devotions, which is a poetry book that I've been enjoying so much these days, especially in the morning. I love to take out my specific black pen from my cute rabbit pencil case and journal in my little notebook. As part of my poetry class, we have to keep this notebook, which has been more of a joy for me, more of a delight than a duty. Oh, that's my NaNoWriMo page, where I set my goals and purpose for novel writing. And so it's just been such a joy to keep this journal, write down random thoughts, practice my Chinese, and it's really just such a big part of the creative process. Just keeping little leaves, appreciating beauty of creation, and sketching and drawing is actually a really big part of my creative process as well. And I just wanted to show you this because every writer needs a journal, which is a hodgepodge of information. Here I experimented with writing lines of poetry without any spaces or punctuation. I know. And these are just some other drawings that I was doing in progress. And yeah, so I encourage you, keep that journal. And as you read things, like for example, as I read Mary Oliver's devotions, if anything stuck out to me, I would write it in my journal, and gradually it will get absorbed in your own mind, and you will start to manifest it in your own unique way in your writing. Hi there, friend. Today we continue our early morning novel ritual. So basically what I'm doing now is inserting the number of like chapters that I think I'll be having, and if needed, then the multiple scenes within those chapters. So I've completed the character profiles, yay! And right now we're gonna work on the scene building. So I encourage you to always find a slot of time to intentionally work on your writing. And for me, it's just so great to do that before I start on anything else, because right now my mind is clear and I can be creative before all the clutter comes in. So we're gonna work on that now. Go, go, go. I just wanted to take a little break to share something with you that has really been helping my writing. The key goal to every single novel, to every single story in the universe, is to elicit emotion. Okay? Always keep that in mind. And how you do that is you must determine ahead of time what is the inner problem that your character is going to have to struggle with throughout the story, and what is the outer problem, the outer threat that they will have to fight as well. And both of these, the inner problem and the outer problem, should work together to draw out that flaw in your character that you want them to have a transformative arc in. And these two problems should work together to eventually have your character rise up against them and conquer their fears, and to realize the ultimate truth, the theme that you wanted them to learn all along. As I had mentioned in an earlier vlog, you should determine the theme of your story before you start on anything else, because that will guide the creation of your characters, that will guide your outline, that will guide the plot itself, the whole story. So what I did, I started with identifying my theme, and then I reminded myself the key goal is to elicit emotion. And then from that theme, I developed the inner problem, which is basically the opposite of that theme, and that is the misbelief that my main character has been believing for much of her life, and especially where she is right now. And then the outer problem is the forces of brutal violence and hatred of the Japanese army, and also some family problems that she has. So that, I just wanted to share, is something really important to have like set in stone before you move on. And then I determined the tense that I want my story to be in. Of course, this can often change when you actually start, but it's good to have a rough idea, because that will guide how you write your outline and help you like get into that headspace. So for now, I've set it to close third person in present tense, so you really feel like everything's happening right there and then, you know? And then I use the Save the Cat beat sheet for my outlining. So I'm just not going to show you the actual info, but firstly is the opening image, a single scene grounding us in the world and character. It needs conflict. He says, show us the main character living in their false identity and believing their misbelief. Then theme stated, a supporting character hints at the lesson the main character needs to learn, the truth. Setup, introduce the character, backstory, inner and outer conflict and problems. This will be the first 10% of your book. Then catalyst, a life-changing incident happens. So this is going to be like the most shocking thing that starts everything. Debate, the main character debates. What should I do? They might consult people. Break into two, the main character's definite decision, point of no return. The change of field. I would recommend using the Save the Cat beat sheet for your novel outlining. It's always worked for me. It's 15 beats, and I didn't show all of them to you, but if you Google them, they will come up. And yeah, so I hope that helps you a little bit, and let's continue to encourage each other in this writing journey. See, the beautiful moon is in the sky. Look at this beautiful sky. Strips of purple, pink, cotton candy. Wow, look at that moon. Oh my gosh, it's a beautiful evening. Hello, good evening. Right now it is nighttime, and I have been reading some poetry. It's a really calming evening practice that I started to adopt, and I just really want to share this beautiful short poem by Mary Oliver, from her wonderful book of poetry selections called Devotions. Yeah, Devotions is great. And this poem is called Mindful. So here we go. Mindful. Every day I see or I hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It is what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over, in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. Now, isn't that beautiful? I highly recommend that you check out Mary Oliver's poetry for some mindful, devotional type of poems, especially this collection right here of devotions. Yes, and some other poets that I would recommend since we're on this topic. Lee Young Lee is really interesting. This is his book, Rose. There's his name, Lee Young Lee. He writes lyrical poetry of quite a different style. It's a really interesting story to tell in his poems, and I love how he infuses family and just deep thoughts about life, and his imagery is really interesting. Yeah, so definitely check him out. And then my greatest recommendation that I would give you right now is Kathy Song. This is her poetry collection, Picture Bride, and it explores her family history as well as her childhood, including the story of her grandmother who was married off just through her picture to her grandfather. And just the way she writes it is amazing, and that is definitely one of my top poetry recommendations. Kathy Song, Picture Bride. It's amazing. Other names out there that I really like,
Ocean Vuong, and Natasha Trethewey, amazing poets. Yeah, so I just want to say that. I hope you enjoyed this little short poetry night session with me, and just remember to take a time to breathe and wonder and to be mindful, just like the poem Mindful said.